Hey folks, welcome back to SC Hollers. I'm Saxa Wine, and today we are doing this video on the resource drive, but the ultimate reason I needed to do it is because I started recording in 2K and I was having a lot of FPS issues with the recording. Like, the game was fine, but the recording sucked, yada yada. So I wanted to go through this video. I recorded for about 4 hours, and this is how I would do the resource drive if I were not done with it yet. So if you're going to go through the steps that I'm taking, step one, you need a capital ship. I personally recommend the Polaris. Now, I know plenty of you have heard this strategy before, so I'm not going to go too in depth with it, but we're taking the 127k resource drive mission. We're based around ArcCorp, and the reason I like doing this around ArcCorp is because all of the missions are at the mining bases around ArcCorp, and you don't have to worry about going to like around planets and stuff like that. There's only two moons, Walla and Lyria. They're very far apart from each other, and it's very unlikely that you are going to get a moon or a ArcCorp in your way when you're trying to quantum travel. And so this goes by very quickly in ArcCorp because you can just go from base to base to base, and you just, step two, go to the location. All right, so we're here. So there's two ways that you can do this, and you don't necessarily need a capital ship for this first way, but it sure as hell helps. So what we're going to do is roll up underneath the target. We're pulling up underneath the M2. And it doesn't really matter where you sit. I like to place my Polaris like in a spot where if they're underneath and they're shooting up at the Polaris, they won't hit the M2, but you can't protect it completely. Now, the important part about doing this particular method is setting your medbed on your ship. And this is why I recommend having a capital ship, because what we're going to do is take control of the M2 and then fly it back over to Baijini Point. Unload the cargo, and then backspace to get back on the Polaris and go to the next mission. So if you're going to go through this method, and through the second method I'm going to go through as well, I would recommend putting more power to your rear shields. And so you can see I just brought up my shields in this clip, and the rear shield is coming up, but the reason it's taking so long to come up is because it was brought down in the previous mission. I forgot to add more power to the shields. If you don't know how to add more power to the shields, what you're going to need to do is go to your shield MFD, and it'll say shields at the bottom. And you should see these plus and minus buttons. If you click the plus button on your rear shields, it will remove power from the other three shields and add it to your rear shield. And since the NPCs love that rear shield, just go ahead and add just one more tick of power to that rear shield, and you should be good to go. And unless there's like a caterpillar that spawns, your rear shields should stay up the entire time. If you have a caterpillar and you're trying to get into the caterpillar is very, very slow, and sometimes for some reason, like with the C2 or the M2, you'll get a fully functional M2, won't have any damage to it. The caterpillars will have from time to time a bunch of damage on the ship, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to just get destroyed on your way out. So if you choose to go with this method of getting your cart or resource drive done and you have a caterpillar, EVA up onto the top ladder here, and then take a right, go through the door, take another right, and next thing you know, cockpit is right here. And you just got to make sure when you go into the caterpillar that you hit that, or you go into the side that has the catwalk on it, and that just the important part is just EVAing right onto the catwalk. And you can see this caterpillar here, it has damage to the engines. I'm consistently taking more damage from those NPCs, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like doing this method. Like, even when I'm bringing up the shields, they're not coming up enough. I just got soft death by the NPCs. My pips weren't working properly. Like, it was a whole crapshoot. And so we're going to have to manually offload all this cargo onto the Polaris now, and that's going to take us into method number 2 of how I like to do this. And this is my preferred method because it's a little more safe. So I'm pulling my Polaris up next to this soft death cat, and it's soft death, so everything is EVA, so that's why I'm able to pick up the boxes and the cat with this multi-tool. Otherwise, they would just be stuck in there. I don't have a max lift on me, which is not normal for me. But you see the box just drops right into the hangar as soon as it hits gravity. But yeah, this is all you do is just fill up the Polaris hangar, and as soon as this is filled up, like I haven't had the experience on the Polaris as I have with the Reclaimer where boxes just start disappearing, but I've always been able to fill up the hangar 100%. And so the next step is just going to your contracts, abandon the contract. I need to repair the Polaris and go buy myself a max lift. So we will be back in just a second. Once that's all done, go ahead and get another 127K resource drive mission. Accept and be on your merry way. So when I'm doing this method, I really like to fly the Polaris in the co-pilot seat. And you have full control, as long as nobody is in the pilot seat, you have full control of the Polaris in the co-pilot seat. I prefer the co-pilot seat because I have access to open all the doors. So as we start our approach here, looks like another M2. What we are going to do is open up. We'll turn on our shields first. We see our hangar is closed. So we're going to hit this middle button here. That should start opening the hangar. And you can go into third person. There's also a camera view. Like just to the top right of where I hit that button to open up the hangar for the Polaris, there is a camera that takes you directly into the hangar. So you can go into third person on the Polaris, or you can hit that button. It'll show you the hangar and just verify it's open. Park where you need to. Once you get all the cargo loaded up from all the missions you've been repeating, your hangar should look something like this. And then just head back to whatever station you need to. Now we can't unload this at a station unless we remove it and then put it on another ship like the C2. And I'm actually not going to unload this Polaris because a friend needs it, and they finished Hurston yesterday, and I don't know if she like wants to do ArcCorp or Microtech and then call it quits or whatever. So we're just going to leave this full, park it over at Area 18, and call this video done. Now, obviously, I said in the beginning that I was testing my 2K recording footage and all that stuff. The biggest issue that I had with this, if you're just wondering, I originally had the FPS value set to 144, which is my monitor refresh rate. And the game is also running at 144 Hertz. So I reduced the frame rate, or the FPS, of the recording software down to 60 FPS. And I've gone through a lot of the footage here, and it seems to be that it's working perfectly fine now. So hopefully we have 2K footage working perfectly fine now, and we should see an improvement of, I guess, video quality here in the future. Thanks everyone for sticking around. I'm Sacks of Wine. This is SC Haulers, and we'll see you at the next haul. Sacks of Wine.